Alex Ovechkin finally spoke about his future. He did it in an interview with John Walton in Monumental Sports, so this was a Capitals in-house production. But I thank them for getting the answer because nobody else has been able to. And I was saying that literally yesterday on the show, we talked about this for about an hour. I cannot believe this isn't a bigger story. I cannot believe everybody's not talking about this incessantly. It should be the lead item on every show. We talk about it most days on this show. What is Alex Ovechkin going to do? Mm-hmm. And again, you'll hear the audio. We'll have a larger conversation coming up in a few. But he basically, Danny, did the thing that I was praying he wouldn't, which was yet again kick the can down the road. I would have rather no comments at all than actually answer the question, but say, I'm not ready to decide yet.
So I'm thankful that there's at least some answer now. But it's my least favorite answer. Well, does that make any sense?
I'll say it this way. I'm thankful the question was asked
fair enough.
To Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I would have rather no answer than the answer, which was, I'll decide in the summer.
Yeah.
You may remember that last summer the answer was, I'll decide later.
Yeah.
I'll decide. We kept thinking early in the year, before the trade deadline. I'll decide before the end of the season. Now it's in the offseason again, in the summer. Well, what is the summer? By the way, free agency starts on July 1st for the Washington Capitals. So the summer had better be June. And the summer had better be the last couple days of May. Is that technically summer?
I suppose.
I think May 21
maybe
or something.
June 14th is the. I don't know.
June 19th, June 22nd, June 13th. Any of those days work for me if they work for you, Ovi. But I need that front office to know before the start of free agency if you are playing on this team or not. I don't want this to become some Aaron Rodgers soap opera. I don't need a documentary about a helicopter going to pick up Brett Favre in 15 years because somebody wants him to come back. I need him to make the decision. And if you want to come back, great. You got to say that. And you got to do it before July 1. And the team has not given him a deadline. They have been very gracious, and they should.
Right.
This is Ovi's town. He has made me and you and every person listening bigger hockey fans over the last couple of decades. He's the greatest player in the history of DC sports. But they need an answer, and they probably could have benefited from one before the deadline. They probably could have benefited from one before the end of the season.
They certainly could have, yeah.
And they can sure as hell benefit before July 1st. And if I was them, I'd kind of put a flag in the ground and say, hey, man, we need to know. And here's the date, June 10th. We need 3 weeks to get our ducks in a row before free agency starts.
The guys in the front office, the smart folks, the Chris Patricks of the world, will come up with plan A, plan B. Plan A is back, plan B is not, and we'll act accordingly. So it sounds negative, but it is the frustration that's coming out for me at least. I don't want to speak for you. When I say I appreciate at least there's an update. Like instead of it being shrouded in mystery, it's okay, now we, in theory, have more of a timeline. Now we know when to expect something. I didn't like the idea that there's this cloud hanging over. Is this his last game? Is it not? What are we doing? How do we react? Now we know that there's at least, it's my least favorite answer possible, which is the announcement that there'll be an announcement at some point. I can't stand that, but I'm an adult. I have to deal with it. To me, the extra layer of there's this mysterious sort of nebulous thing hanging out there, and I guess it still is. That wasn't solved by him saying, I'm not announcing it right now, or not, I haven't decided right now, or whatever. But thank goodness there's at least something, so I can stop saying every single day, how are people not talking about this? How is this not the biggest story in DC sports? And is everyone okay? Just sort of not knowing, not having any idea? At least now we're kind of all in it together.
The Capitals play tonight. They're in Toronto. 7:30 puck drop. You can hear the game on the Fan after the Nats. We got play-by-play pretty much all day long. So you're going to have Nats baseball at 4:05. Post-game I've got after Charlie and Dave. And then we're into Capitals hockey, right? That is a 7:30 start time. Ilya Protas, who's 19 years old, little brother of Alexei Protas, who's 6'6", will be on the biggest line in Capitals history. It'll be the two Protases, who combine to be about 12 foot, 13 inches tall, and Tom Wilson, who's the small guy in the group, at 6'4", 230. That's going to be a fun watch. That'll be entertaining. There are only 3 games left after that. Penguins, Blue Jackets. And the only home game remaining of the 4 is going to be Sunday afternoon against Pittsburgh. I think you've got to go into that game if you've got tickets and assume it's Ovi's last game and honor him with the passion that is deserved and treat that as if he's already announced this is his final game. Ovations all day long. Every time he touches the puck, people are on their feet. I think if you don't have a ticket yet and you're hoping to go to his last game, I think you got to dip into the savings if that's what you're willing to do, because you have to now. He's not going to tell you. The team doesn't know. You have to treat this, just in case, as if it's his last game. Because if he says in 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks that he's done, and we just kind of let the game go as if, he'll be back. He hasn't said he's done. I think we're going to regret it. So I'm sure the Capitals, who are first class in everything they do with all of their in-house presentations, are going to roll out the red carpet in a just-in-case type atmosphere. But I think fans have to act accordingly as well.
I think it's a smart way to view it. This is not exactly analogous, but I remember kind of a similar thing with Ryan Zimmerman when last year of his deal, we weren't sure. So the final homestand, I remember he comes to bat pretty much every time, and he's getting a nice ovation from the crowd, and he said, like, I haven't said anything yet. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but it's nice. I appreciate it, but again, I'm not sure. But the fans here at Nats Park acted accordingly, right? I think that's the right way to play it. Where just in case this is a walk-away moment, because that's very reasonable. That's one of the options on the table. Can you imagine if you went and you go, yeah, I was there for what turned out to be his last game and we didn't know it, and it just treated it like another game? Shouldn't happen that way, right? It should be special, even if it turns out to be slightly less special, if that makes sense.
It's going to be an amazing afternoon at Capital One Arena, one way or the other. I also think the tell could be if he plays against Columbus or not. Because if he plays in that game at home against Pittsburgh, which would be storybook, your last game should probably be in front of the home faithful rocking their red to close down the Ovechkin era of 2 decades. And against the Penguins, no less, and Sidney Crosby. And there's going to be a receiving line from Pittsburgh showing admiration and respect after the game, like somebody just got eliminated in a playoff series. If you were to not play against Columbus, it would be a little bit of a tell, I think, that he's leaning in the direction of maybe skating off into the sunset. Now, if you just go play in a game in Columbus, and you get a little adulation there, obviously, but it's not going to be anything like what Sunday afternoon is on Tuesday night, then, I won't know what to think. But I told you yesterday I'm 51% sure he's hanging him up. I'm going to act accordingly this weekend and try to provide the reverence that is deserved. He's the greatest athlete in the history of DC sports. But the comments, and we'll play them for you in just a bit, that he is not quite sure yet as to which way this is going to go. He needs time. He needs to further talk to his family. And look, maybe he just didn't want to do that during the season. I mean, it would seem to me like you could be doing that for the last several months, right? You knew this decision was coming. But maybe he wanted to compartmentalize a little bit. Guys like Anthony Rendon, after opening day, you'll remember, said, I'm not thinking about an extension. I don't want to spend any time thinking about business during baseball. And maybe that's how he treated it.